big boy vomit, and the ultimate vomit, purge. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
Well, hello, Melissa.
Hi.
I feel like there's some content afoot. So let's just get into it. Let's get into it. That's one of my favorite new TikToks is this guy who he says, interesting, cool places to stand. Have you seen him? Have I reposted these? He goes,
I do have your repost
so he says,
on the board for
so that's
today.
his whole deal. He
Yeah.
he puts the cameras on him and he goes, cool places to stand, part, burk. Let's get into it. And then he walks over to some place and stands there and films himself. And then
Standing?
yes, and if you hang around for a little while, you'll get a second angle and he'll say, I like it because, and then he talks about why this is a cool place to stand. And then he talks about the different ways you can pose when you're standing there. Like, this is a good one for a bent leg. And he crosses. It's very zen. And it's also super stupid. And I love it.
Okay. You know what you also reposted? That
I didn't mean to hijack us into this, but let's keep going.
It threw me. Usually, and dear listener will know, you post joy, music, and dancing, and what fucking not. Like just weird, joyful things.
That's
people.
the name of my store. What fucking not? Okay.
Yeah, it's a good title. But I'll tell you, what you did post was speed bed making.
Oh my God. And I've watched it so many times. No, I love it.
Explain yourself.
You've not watched this before?
When you reposted it, it popped up on my feed, and I thought, oh, Amy must think this is important. What the fuck is this?
Okay, here's how it works.
Explain.
This is an international competition for hospitality folk, right, who are tasked with luxury bed making. So that you're flipping a space in a premium way, and they're awarded, so you can win an award for this. But here's how it works. If you've ever watched Japanese tea service, where every action is precise and exquisite, there is no wasted effort. It elevates the task to an art, and that's what these bed makers are doing. So they are behaving in a way where every action is so precise and measured for efficiency that it is a thing of beauty to watch. He is able to put on a duvet cover in one fluid motion. And I don't mean roll it up like a burrito and then unroll it. He basically lays shit out in such a way where he can just, like you're unfurling something.
That sound actually happens on the TikTok. She's not kidding. It's really
stunning,
the smoothest,
stunning event. And so rapid.
So here's my objection to that event. And it's rapidity.
Pish posh on your TikTok.
It is a bed in the middle of a massive room. When is there ever a bed solo without a headboard, without leaning over and tucking something? There's nothing about making a bed that is whoosh, easy and fluid. I just smacked my arm into the wall and I broke a nail against the headboard.
Well, I do take issue with you because you're going to have accessibility on three sides. You're really just not in a luxury situation. You're going to have foot of bed, side of bed, side of bed. There's going to be some sort of bedstead headboard situation where, and in this case, it was truly a mattress floating in space, as it were.
It was, yeah.
So, but he didn't, if you paid much attention, he didn't really go down to the other end of the bed too much. So I guess competitive bed making,
it's not for
they
me.
have some, well, in the same way that if one might compare this to competitive doggery, where they have the little dogs run around and go, I'm going to go up on this bridge that I found in the natural world. Like, that shit don't exist. You're learning.
Do you mean an agility course?
You study for the test. You teach to the test for these fucking dogs. And I think that you teach to the test for these hospitality bedmaker competitors. I think you do.
I was just
He's
amazed.
wearing a suit. Let's also cut to it.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like a very
dressed.
formal event.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. Oh, I love it.
I thought you just found this very niche Chinese facility where part of you. Have you ever seen like the prison people marching and doing like Thriller in a Chinese prison in their
I don't think they're in prison. And also, I'm not on prison talk, but I am on group dance talk. So I feel like there's an interesting Venn diagram where those two things overlap. Like the one where they say, put your hands in the air. And then on the one side, it's criminals. And on the other side, it's discotheque. And then they intersect because...
Are you also adding those small children from some African nation who have better moves?
I hate those so much. I can't abide them. I think they're disgusting and they're sicken me.
Wow, I poked a button on that.
They sicken me, and I don't think they should exist. I think they're exploitative. I don't think it's real. I don't like it. And at the worst, I think it's a put-up job to the rest of us. That somehow a bunch of people in like Des Moines decided, hey, let's throw a bunch of yellow tarps down and then put some greenery around, and it'll look like we're not even in America. Like, I don't even believe that we're dealing with who we're dealing with. I think the whole thing is they're on like some kind of a sound stage. They never went to the moon, Melissa. I'm just here to tell you.
Deep conspiracy theory
frustrating.
you have going
It's super
here.
gross, troubling and bad and sad,
Wow.
and they're not doing it. And it's sick and sickening. And no, I don't like it. They hold up a picture. It's a whole bunch of kids, teens to like young adult.
In uniforms, school uniforms.
Or worse, the ones where they're not wearing any shoes and they're wearing mismatched shorts. And it's very, very hot looking, and they'll hold up a photograph of someone, and they'll go, Betty, I love you, mwah, and they'll kiss the photograph, and then throw the photograph, and then they dance.
I don't think I've seen that.
They're horrible and exploitative. It's basically like a reverse cameo. You know how you would pay a celebrity to come on and go, these bubbles are delicious, and I'm so happy, Sheila, that you passed your cosmetology test, and I'm just, whatever their fucking thing is, right? But meanwhile, these others are like, we're dancing for the week's corn. Like, it's just terribly sad and not right and false.
So are you saying that they are not part of the TikTok earn? They're not getting money for
Creators
what they're
Fund.
doing?
Look,
for
I don't
all
like
their
any
likes
part. I
and
don't like any.
comments and
Yes,
activity?
here's the part of it I like. Nothing. There's nothing about it that I like. It's very upsetting to me, and I speed past them as quickly as I can, even faster than if I was making a Chinese bed. I try to get out as quick as I possibly can so that I don't have to see that horrible content or have it cross my feed because I don't want to participate in it, is what I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying about that. And you should be grateful that I'm saying it. I have the boldness to say it.
I was gently on TikTok before this, and somebody was filming a woman who refused to give her a Brazilian wax because she had odor in her lady parts. And she said, I am a certified nurse, and I'm telling you something is wrong with you. And I'm not touching you down there until you get seen by someone. And she said, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I got this wax on a Groupon, and you have to do it because I have an appointment.
If you're a certified nurse and you're giving out Brazilian waxes, red flag number one.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Okay, that's where I start. Secondarily, what kind of TikTok are you watching?
I just told you. I will not repeat it. It hurt me the first time.
I was surprised the first time I saw it, and then I went way out of my way to make sure there was never a second time that I saw it, where this woman wants to talk about how she has a whole list of people that she's banned from giving her Brazilian waxes to because they come in with literal poop on them. And I thought, Melissa? Yeah, you've not heard that my phone's in the room. God damn it.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I
and
would
she's
throw
got,
up in
and
my
there's
mouth.
like a series of them.
I
And
would
people
throw
argue
up.
with her and say, I don't have poop on me. And she says, yes, you do. Go into the next room and here's a wipe. And they come back and there's still poop on them. And she's like, and I'm not doing it. First of all, there's two. I don't even
know
close
why
enough to zero to be a first of all. If you don't know that you have poop on you, that you go to a service where somebody's going to be all up in you and through, I don't even, just stop it. And also, bleh, if you feel like you need to rip the hair out of your body, but you can't get the fecal matter off you, like, where's the priority there?
Well, the girl in this one said, I just came from the gym. Okay, I got to tell you,
that
that's
ain't
like,
right.
but that's like eating a pack of Oreos and going to the dentist and saying, yeah, I'm here for my cleaning. You don't do that. Every time I go to a doctor, no matter what part they're looking at, dermatologist is the worst because you have to get every crevasse. I clean within an inch of my life the part that a stranger who is there to look at this part. Oh my God, you get a colonoscopy from the inside. You clean that shit out like crazy. What makes you think going to the gym before getting a Brazilian, ouch, would be a good idea, but she was shunned, and that was harsh.
The whole content stream, the people who are giving Brazilians in order to have content for TikTok, like how is just the whole thing? Remember that woman who had somebody post giving a Brazilian and didn't get the approval of the person she was doing it to? Remember that whole thing?
No.
We talk about it on here. We sure did.
You need approval to get him a pants.
And then the other person said, "Oh, I'll give you a discount. I'll pay, just let me pay you $100 now. Leave this up." And she's like, "No."
Oh, yes, to post it, not to violate her, but to put the post out. She said, absolutely not. I want nothing to do with this.
This whole line of questioning. I'm not even sure what happens on your TikTok. My TikTok is filled up with joy and people making beds and all kinds of happiness.
I don't find joy in making beds, but I now understand a little more the theater of it that you
I'm not
appreciated.
ever going to make a bed, but it's not true. I make one every morning. But I'm just trying to say, I do love watching somebody who know what they're doing.
In all aspects.
I got a great compliment today, and it was exactly that. Somebody was complimenting my outfit.
Yeah.
And the phrase that she used was, she says, "You look like you know some things." I was like, okay, I like that.
I love that. That's the polar opposite of what my kid says when she looks at you and says, "You look like you've got a nut allergy."
Right.
Or, "You look like you can't swim." And I think,
you look
fuck
like
you,
76 is your next birthday. Yeah, it's like, come on.
Oh, ouch. That one's clearer and painful. Some of those definitely make me want to vomit. Who's the big boy for you in the vomit scale?
So, son of mine was on yet another college recruiting mission, and he's packing them in. God bless him. It's every single weekend. This past weekend, it will be next weekend. It will be the following weekend. They don't stop. And they are far, far, far away. The next one, well, let me just say it was Philadelphia. So that's far from where we are. Then next weekend, it's Florida. And yes, we're driving because there is no easy way. There's no flight. There's no flight that makes it happen. There's just not. And everybody looked for flights. So it's how many kids can we pack in this car so that we don't have to do this terrible thing together. Then the weekend after that, it's further north, even norther still. It's on a plane. We couldn't make it happen. Had to get on a plane to go to super cold town. So anyway, he was coming home from, well, there's
Super
just no
cold
way to
town.
make it happen to get there
Super
and get
cold
back.
town, USA. You've been there, you know.
It's super cold. Hey, Frosty. Hot Frosty. So gross.
Mm.
Okay, so he went to this very big deal. He was super pumped up for it, tried to squeeze it in, and then on the way home, started to feel a little car sick. Started to feel like something was coming on. It was just too much, not enough good food. This was a case where in this particular weekend event, no parents allowed. So you had to get him there. Then 8 a.m., you're mine. And they kept you literally overnight until the following day at 3. So every meal, there was no respite. There was stuff at night. There were games all day. He was in a position where he was rarely substituted in, meaning he was in the entire time. They didn't ever substitute him out, which on the one hand is great, but on the other hand, it's exhausting.
Right.
You do a workout with the team, which is great, but then you're exhausted. So he was like super sore, super exhausted. Whatever food they throw at you is the food you get to eat. So not really great in terms of food.
And he's a foodie, too.
Not really great in terms of food. Right, that whole thing. So riding home, starts to get pull over. Open the car door, throwing up out the car door, unbuckle, throwing up on the side of the road where it's dangerous, pitch black, dark, throwing up. Not cool. Not cool. Came home, fevery, all shook up, all crazy. So we're like, all right, let's get you. Didn't even want to go upstairs. Walked in the house. I'm sleeping on the couch downstairs because I don't want to climb the steps.
Dear
you got
listener, her couch is white. Just
you got it.
sharing
No, it's
that.
no problem. You got it. I set him up, and I did actually put some white blankets on him now that I think about it. But a lot of white. Whitey McWhitetown. So
Whitey
in any event,
McVomit Town.
I gave him a little trash can. I gave him a trash can next to him for ease of So couldn't even get the water in, whatever. Finally got him settled down, put an ice pack on his head. Here's how we're going to do it. I don't want to risk giving you medicine because you'll just whatever. I think everything's fine. Then sure enough, 2:00 in the morning, Mama, I feel a hot little hand on my shoulder.
Oh,
And there's this giant, towering, criminal-looking president hovering over me. He's 6'2". He's a big, big boy. He's like, can I get in your bed with you? I mean, it's just so funny to have baby
love it.
needs in a giant
I
big ass
love it.
man. And I was like, yes, but just for a minute. You feel really clammy, honey. Do you think you want to? Oh yeah, into the toilet. Wow, crazy, crazy vomit, crazy vomit. It just kept going. The kind of vomit that if it wasn't so obviously born of
Exhaustion.
sickness, no,
Right.
you can tell when you're throwing up booze. It smells
Right.
It
It's all
smells
liquid.
kind of like booze. You know what booze is.
And it's pink.
I don't want to
And
get super
it's-
graphic, but I'll just simply say I was there supporting him as he fell ill, and you could tell that this was sickness, and you could tell that it was going to be rapidly expunged. So I was like, all right, this is the worst of it. This is the worst of it. But he's just like, okay, it was one of those whole things. So when he was done, now take a shower. Now I got the bleach out and I'm cleaning the toilet at 2 a.m. Now I got this giant sweaty, clammy, vomity man in my bed at 2 a.m. But I tell you, I thought them sick baby days was gone. They're not gone. They're still here. They're still here.
And today was
It
all
almost
Gatorade
looked like
and
food poisoning. Anyway, yeah.
You don't know what the fuck he ate, but okay.
Almost looked like food poisoning. So,
Wow,
but
that's
who
awful.
knows?
We are continuing to support our children in new stages of everything. That's crazy. I'm so glad he's feeling better, and that's awful. Can I guess that your spouse slept through that session of vomit?
100%. But
Okay.
he was on the side of the road where it was like, maybe don't hit the door with the vomit as it comes out of your mouth. So, I mean, he
Protecting
got
the
some.
car.
He
Yeah.
got some.
Okay. He got hit? Okay.
He got some.
Feel a little
No, I
better.
mean, he got his. I got middle of the night duty. He got side of the road duty.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dangerous in
Yes.
the dark. And I drove home tonight in fog, and I thought, deer jump out typically anyway. Well, it's been like 8 degrees here, and
Sure.
now it's 47. So
Right. They don't know what they're doing.
it changes, and all of a sudden, dense fog, and I think, all right, if this is it, this is it. And that takes me to my next topic.
Oh.
We have been talking about the Great Purge, and we have been discussing thinning things out, ourselves, our closets, what do we actually need, want, have. There are 2 people in my life right now that left one day. Well, you know how you open your closet and you see your coats and you go to put on the new season's coat, and in the pocket there's money.
Yes.
And you're like, here's a $5. Holy shit, here's a 20. Oh my God, it's a day. Let's go do. It's a thrill because you hung that coat up last time and you did not know that you were not going to wear it again. You didn't know, or you might have taken that money out and brought it with you. You did not know you were putting this aside until literally next year. Well, when you leave the house, it's becoming clear to me that not everybody comes back to their home and sees things the way they left them. And other people might be the people who come home and see things the way you left them. And that is hitting me like the Mack truck that went through your son.
Oh.
So yesterday, my father fell and broke his hip.
Oh, Jesus. Why didn't you
And-
call me? Why am I only hearing about this now? Because
And
we were supposed to
he-
record yesterday and we had to push it to today.
And he is, and I'm going there on Wednesday, just before this drops.
Okay. The reason that you're telling me this on pod means that he is stable enough that you didn't have to send me a text to say,
Gotta
alert,
go.
alert, red
Gotta
spinning
go.
siren.
Yeah,
It's still
he just had
shocking.
surgery a couple of hours ago, and he is
Jesus,
coming out of
Jesus,
anesthesia
Jesus.
right now, and he seems to be great. Everybody there said the surgery went incredibly well, and now he's sleeping. He's sleeping quietly. If the nurses are lucky, he's sleeping quietly. So he is starting his recovery, but again, he's 83, and I don't know.
Was he rollerblading?
My girlfriend, I talked to my girlfriend because she called just as I heard, and
Is
she
he getting
said
a
to me,
Brazilian? Yeah.
he smelled too much. She said to me, "Did she push him?"
Oh
and
my God.
I said,
Plausible.
that's a valid question. That's a valid question, but no, that's not how it happened. But yeah, I mean, you're unstable on your feet. He left the house yesterday.
I need to stop you. We're going to take a moment and just give you high score for degree of difficulty in terms of life circumstance right now. This is clocking in at an 18.6 on the 10-point scale. Because how much more fucking shit can we pile on Melissa and have her keep walking?
I spent the day today with my not well friend also, and she had a stroke over Thanksgiving.
Jesus!
And words are not our friends anymore, and she can't really get any of her feelings and thoughts and emotions out. You're not wrong when you say there's just so much one can handle. But these are two humans in my life who might not go home, who might wind up at a rehab. Well, definitely one of them is not going home, but at a rehab, and then like there's just, you don't know when you leave your pile of shit at home. And I'm speaking for myself completely. That $20 bill in my pocket is a delightful surprise. Finding out you're not going home is not a delightful surprise. So I feel the impetus after this trip I'm taking to visit my family to do that purge more and more. Have you made any progress, steps forward, anything towards that purge?
I have.
What have you done? Please,
And
let me live vicariously.
That is the reason that I so unceremoniously requested to move the time that we record, because I literally exhausted myself. I have been doing so much that my ankles are so swollen. I literally couldn't, even sitting down, they were just throbbing and throbbing and throbbing from being on my feet and moving from room to room for 2 straight days. And the reason is so touching. You're probably going to start to boo-hoo and cry if I tell it right. So on Thanksgiving, I heard the words flying out of my mouth, as all the words that fly out of my mouth are a little surprising to me. They just show up, and it's like I'm listening to someone else when I'm talking, because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. So out it comes. I don't think I want to do Christmas this year because it would take decoration, because the amount of effort that it would take for me to do it completely by myself. I've already described how my husband is traveling with my son. So they're not available to help.
And the other two are not available
to help. So even if people were here to help, they're physically not here to help. It would 100% be me pulling it all down, 100% be me putting it all up, 100% be me taking it all down, 100% me putting it all back. And when I say it's because it's 2 staircases, full staircases to get up to the 2nd floor and then up to the attic. All by myself. That's where it all is. It's in the attic. Yeah? Okay. And I thought, I just said this at Thanksgiving. I would rather spend that same energy cleaning out the garage, because at least at the end of the same time period, I would have something I could enjoy all year.
Progress, yeah.
As opposed to something for 4 weeks or 3 weeks or a minute and a half, depending on what day it is we're talking about me still delaying doing this. Okay. Cut to my son, the one who lives in Raleigh, the architect. Okay. He says, calls on the phone and says, okay, so my girlfriend and I are coming to your house on Saturday. We're coming for the weekend, and we're cleaning out the garage. And I said, what? Why? And he goes, because you're not going to do it if I don't say this. And we're doing it, and we're helping, and so just that's what's doing. And I said, but I need a plan. He's like, no, you don't. But I need it. No, you don't. We're coming. We're just going to start. We're starting this weekend. And we're doing it. And I had a Christmas party Friday night to go to for a client and all this stuff. And my one son is gone and my husband, all the thing. And I'm like, can we not? And I'm so exhausted. And he's like, no, we're coming either way. And you don't have to do it. We'll do it. We're coming to do this. You can do as little or as much as you want. They demanded that this happen. So, and they were out of town Friday themselves. So I'm like, it's not good timing for you. This is such a lovely gesture. We don't really have to do it. And they're like, yeah. We're already driving to you. Tough shit. And show up they did. And it was unbelievable. They got here willing to work the entire weekend. And it was truly a bigger job than we could complete in the weekend. So when we faced it, how are we going to tackle it? We really didn't have a plan. What are we going to do? Talked through some scenarios and made a quick pivot, which we agreed was still okay. So instead of doing the garage, it's also frigid cold, and we'd have to literally be outside with the door open. I was like, none of this makes any sense. Why don't we instead tackle something in the house that needs to get done? So we did the entire cubby area and 2 closets, went through every single and all the bags. You remember how we talked about paper bags and all the bags being crazy?
Bags of bags. We saved them, yeah.
So I took photographs of all the things that we did. It was so shocking, and it literally took 3 adult people, if I can call them that, 2 full days to get it done. 2 full fucking days. That's how much volume and shit got sorted, organized, cleaned out, dumped out. The cubbies look like we're ready to stage the house. And I call them cubbies. We have floor-to-ceiling lockers, a row of 5 of them when you come in through either of the garage entrances. So it's like a mudroom kinda.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody
elevated
has a seat
mudroom.
and a place for their shoes and a drawer and an outlet for their phone and 3 hooks for their clothes and a cubby above and all. But I just collectively
Think
call them
Pottery
the cubbies.
Barn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, so there already had been hooks in there from trying to fix this previously. The girlfriend, the hooks were hung up. Let's just be delicate and say, inexpertly. So the girlfriend decides at my urging, she's like, I want to do something. She took them all down, hung them all back up as a fucking architect with a level and fucking pencil marks on the wall, pristinely, drywall patched. It's wood. Put in wood filler, patched it, sanded it, and then went back through and because we did have the matching paint, but it's like we're not fucking painting. Stop. So she's like, okay, went back in there with a pencil eraser just to make sure that it all looked pristinely white. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't tell you.
I would have taken crooked hooks. I'm a crooked hooks kind of girl.
It's amazing. And the amount of bags that I went through, I actually threw out bags. I threw out some bags. I sorted the bags. I threw out some bags. I did.
We don't throw out bags in this house. We put them in other bags.
I did that too, but I also was able to thin and sort and.
So did you aim all of the furniture now at this room so you can just sit and admire it? Can you just admire it? Yeah.
But it was the kind of thing where I know that I've done a project like this recently. I don't know if it was getting sort of my jewelry drawers organized or something like this. It was just, thinning out shoes. Every little one that you do, it inspires the next one because I am rapidly moving to the day where when I need an object, I can walk to it, select it, and have it in under 30 seconds. If I need the right, as opposed to,
sure.
Don't we have 6 pallets worth of batteries? Yes, they're under this car. Lift it over your head. Yeah.
Herculean.
No. Yeah. So I'm
humbled.
I'm making it happen.
You're
and
humbled
you can
by
too.
their expertise.
Oh my God, and I forgot to even tell you the best part. At the very tail end of it.
Yeah.
I asked them if they'd be willing to deviate because this whole thing was, we're not doing Christmas, so our Christmas gift to you is we're going to do this instead, right? And I said, well, what if, now that everything is organized and clean, what if we just put out the nutcrackers? And
I was going to say, the kids, didn't they like to do the nutcrackers?
I
and you
normally
have now this
put
beautiful...
I normally put them all on one table, this big, long, giant dining table, and I just put like a pile, like all of them, so that you can compare them all. Because it's a collection, and there's literally too many of them.
Many.
Right? And again, the girlfriend's like, well, why would you do that? And before I could answer her, I stopped myself, and I said, very painfully, I delegate this task to you. So she styled the whole first floor with nutcrackers the way she saw fit and pulled out fucking greenery and candles and put little displays and vignettes in each room. So I got these little nutcracker setups everywhere you walk. And I'm like, I got some good nutcrackers. Instead of this massive pile of too many bullshit, it's nice. She does good. She's a keeper.
So you had 3 sons. One of them has paired off and has the female energy that's coming out right now.
He's paired off with someone with sense. Yep. He better hold on to her leg. I tell her all the
God.
time. Right. Yeah.
Dig your nails
I don't know what you did to con her into this, but until she wakes up, bolt it down.
Hold on tight.
Right.
Yeah. I love that. I love that for you, considering your days are busier now, to be able to come home to something elevated and beautiful. And I know that that's kind of your love language, and that feeds you. It's your energy. My friend that I visited today, God help me, her rechargeable battery is physical touch.
Oh.
So when I walk in and she says, will you do my back? My answer is, abso-fucking-lutely. Let's go. So it's important to know how you receive positive anything, where your energy comes from. And I'm still working on that.
How are you in all of this?
Oh, please. Yeah. So I wanted to discuss with you the CEO assassination.
I do too, and I'm excited to not have nearly enough information to talk about it. I'm
I've got
really,
some.
really pleased. But before we get off this, I'm just going to do this as a courtesy,
Please
and I'm going to exert my authority.
do it.
I'm going to reclaim my time, Senator, and I'm going to say, dear listener, loving us as you do and loving Melissa primarily as you do, first and pride of place as she has in your heart, I want you to take this time
What?
to think about what sort of feedback you might share with the show that could bring her a smile. Because it's pretty
Aw,
clear
I
there's a
would
lot
like
of
that.
bullshit swirling around her brain right now, and her heart and her rechargeable battery is user feedback. So if you have any love for us in the show, and frankly, if you're still listening after the detailed description of 16-year-old boy vomit, I think you do have love for the show. Then I would invite you to use all of the social channels that I don't fucking know the names of, but you do, because you're still fucking listening. So go there and send some shit in. I bet you it's brilliantobservations@gmail.com.
It is. It most definitely is. We're also, fuck that. We're also on Facebook, Burlap Squad. Come see us there and share some love. She's not wrong. I could use it. I don't ask for it, but she did. And I will.
You know who else asked for it? The CEO of United Health fucking Care. Pow, pow, pip, pip, pop.
What surprised you about this story?
Nothing. Nothing.
What
It
made
gets
you
better and better and better and better and better. Okay? Somebody
ahead.
took him out and wrote on the bullets, I hate you. What I mean, they
They wrote
something- yeah.
deny, defend, and depose.
Right.
And those three things are what the insurance companies do.
Yep.
They deny your claim.
Yep.
They, I don't know, defend their stupid answer, and then they depose you in court to find out what the fuck is wrong or find out more.
Yeah. Then he left on a fucking John Wick Lime bike, went over to Central Park, dropped a backpack full of Monopoly money.
Love it. Go ahead.
Oh my God, that I had enough. My favorite part of all of this is all of it, and I just think that's so great. I say that by way of murder is never okay. Okay, it's just not. This is not fiction. But in the fictional story of our lives, where villains get their comeuppance, he's
Billions
a
of dollars.
villain. Where
It's a
villains get
vaudeville
their
billions.
comeuppance, right? This man did not deserve this. His young children did not deserve this. He perceived and believed that he was doing right by somebody that he was incentivized and tasked to do. So, hate the game, not the player, right? Is that right?
No.
So, hate the player, not the game. I don't know.
No.
Don't shoot him in the head, maybe. But here's the other thing I want to tell you. Here's the other
Go
thing
ahead.
that I love the most part about it, okay? And I truly love this. It's a focus puller for all of us. To think he was shot in the fucking street in front of a Hilton. A Hilton where I have stayed. I know exactly where. He was
Stayed
shot
in one on Wednesday. Yeah.
in the street in front of a fucking Hilton, okay? The board meeting that he was attending started on time.
Holy shit.
The attendees who went to that meeting entered through the front of the fucking building. How do you think they got there? They literally stepped over. I mean, I'm pretending. They figuratively stepped over his body in the street
barricade, right?
to get to. They stepped over his dead fucking body to have their board meeting on time. Okay? If that doesn't tell you, and he is important. He is the most important person of a billion-dollar corporation. And if that doesn't tell you how replaceable your ass is in the world of American commerce,
He absolutely thought he was going home to his
I don't know
piles
what to
of
tell
shit.
you. You need to prioritize getting the right things done, because doing whatever you're doing, getting shot in the street, and not even an hour later, the shit started on time. They didn't have the courtesy to say, I think Jerry might have something wrong with his neck. Let's maybe postpone till tomorrow, right? Let's not maybe talk about these dividends, right? While we still got the police knocking on the conference room door. Unbelievable.
I didn't realize that they went on with their meeting. Things I did realize is later that day, unbeknownst to them, a different insurance company decided that they will only permish, that's a brilliant word, permish certain hours of anesthetic during surgery. So
That's
you better
what that
get
was.
it done
Right.
sooner because we're stopping paying for anesthesia at this point of these surgeries, which seems kind of tone deaf to what is happening right now.
I
to
think they
double
reversed
down.
it. I think they reversed it.
Did they?
That was BCBS. That was Blue Cross BS, literally.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you know that they have captured a suspect?
I feel like I heard that today and it made me sad. I wanted him to get away with it.
So I have questions. Luigi, who is a 2
Oh,
degree,
don't make him Italian. Is he Italian?
Mangione, Luigi Mangione, 2 degrees from UPenn.
Oh,
And yeah, he's no slouch.
that's where my son was this weekend.
2 degrees. Well, he was flirting with somebody else somewhere else. He had a mission. I don't think he's on a spree. I think he'd be very safe sharing a beer with him right now.
I guess so.
But where it's not safe for him to have gone was McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Oh, fuck
which
you,
is,
Altoona.
Which is where an elderly employee
They're
at
just
McDonald's
jealous.
made a phone call. And I thought, that's interesting. I don't know that I would have made that phone
You're
call.
just jealous. I don't
said
like
to
it.
my husband, I don't know that I would have made that phone call. He said, you don't eat at McDonald's. And I said, you're correct.
These
but
things are not connected, though. I mean, I don't think I would have made that phone call. You don't like bowling. What's okay? You're maybe yes.
the only answer I could get from, I don't know that I would have made that phone call was there was a reward for finding him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
Yeah, but wasn't it
started
like
at 10,
wasn't
50.
it like the NYPD came up with like 10 grand or
They
something?
started at 10 grand, but I think it went up to, I don't know, maybe the insurance company used some of their money. So I think it went up to like 200,000. We'll see.
Because
But-
John Wick is going to shoot me in the back of the backpack full of Monopoly money for more than 10 grand. He's not even going to think twice.
It was a printed gun. Pew, pew. Yeah, and I thought that was fascinating. Like, we're printing everything now. And money. That's great. I appreciate. But to report him and to do that, that was crazy to me. They found in his backpack a 3-page manifesto. I said, say less. I write a lot. I've never written a manifesto. Like, that's some shit, man. That's some shit. That you went to Penn, wrote a manifesto, gathered up several boxes, board games worth of Monopoly money, and hit the road, Jack. So I'm blown away by this. I'm surprised a little. Tried to think of another avenue that people would say, he had it coming. Because this is not a normal reaction to a man being slaughtered right in front of like people everywhere on the streets of Manhattan.
Literally shot in the back of the head.
Like, that is terrifying. Nobody's scared because they get it.
It was targeted.
What? That's okay. I'm watching Jason Bourne IRL. That's crazy to me. And really, I'm most shocked by how easily our society absorbed it and said, yeah, well, then don't fuck around. Some of the conspiracy theories I heard were 6 months ago, he dumped billions in stock for the very first time. And he and his buddies, his take was like $15 million in his hand, right? He just walked away with $15 million. And the other buddies that did it thought they got caught. They were going to talk and somebody put a contract out on him. Okay, I have a degree from UPenn. What do you do now? It's in, I don't know, it's not in finance. It was like in IT. Master's in IT from Penn. What are you doing with that? Oh,
Shooting
Grandma. Shooting. Pardon? What?
I believe the term is trigger man. I just watched Black Doves.
Ooh, that's on my list. Ooh.
I started it because I was like, I'm going to have a little reward. Like, after all of my big, long week, I was like, I'm dying. And I feel like it was could have been 8 o'clock when I started the first one. I watched all the way through. I finished the first one this morning.
Okay, good.
Finished
I was like,
it this morning.
that's amazing.
It's not amazing. It's bad. But I'll tell you
What do
that
you
I
mean it's
did
bad?
it. No. It is amazing. It is.
Okay, good.
It is completely bingeable. It is a lot more violent than I thought I would like.
I like that.
It's not. No, it's a lot more violent. It's in the Bourne family of they'll get into a skirmish and show it. Right? They have some gruesome gory and they show it. And you don't need to show me that. I can
don't
have
mind it.
flashbacks without it. I don't need that.
Oh, okay. You're sensitive.
Yeah, I am. I in real life, I have no problem with what went down in front of
That
the Hilton,
is
evidently.
shocking to me.
I have
that
a lot of
so many
problem with-
people are
I
just
have
like,
a
yo,
lot of
he had it
problem.
coming.
Well,
What?
He didn't. He absolutely didn't. But again, there is a kind of karmic justice that feels threaded through this. Like nobody deserves anything, right? We just don't. It's the way the shit happens. That said, if you are actively engaged in an enterprise that preys on people, what are you
In their
doing?
worst moments ever?
What are you doing?
Right. That's, yeah.
I'd not to say that he was doing it. So it's again, the industry.
There's kind of some evidence that
The
he was doing it.
industry
but-
is doing it. The industry. Well, he made a stock trade. He's allowed to make a stock trade.
And less than 30 days later, the whole thing tanked. Like something awful happened and they lost. Like it was fishy at best. It was fishy. And I think he was trying to, I don't know, cover some shit. I don't know. So I will say it again. I don't know. I think it was awful. I also saw someone on TikTok say, that's fine. You'll get him and you'll take him to trial and America will find him not guilty.
I find it more upsetting that the guy in the New York subway who killed that homeless person just got exonerated.
Yeah, that's devastating.
The one where he put him. There was a homeless person having a mental
episode.
I don't want to say a mental health episode. What's the word I'm trying to say?
He was in
a
crisis.
crisis. He was having.
Yeah,
he
was
having
in crisis.
He was having a mental health crisis, is what he was having. And rather than do anything else, this young soldier type took it upon himself to subdue the person so violently that he ended up choking him to death, killing him, and it was just determined that he is not guilty of vehicular manslaughter.
That's a very serious charge you just
I don't
want to
have it, felony or no. And it's not funny, and I don't even want to be making any kind of even adjacent joke about it because it's super sickening, right? All the way around. This soldier type thought he was being a hero. I'm protecting others from the evil of this unarmed man who's yelling. You know, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, idiot? And now this guy is dead, who doesn't deserve to be dead. And the CEO, who has a family at home, he was just trying to make a $15 million sneaky stock trade, and he got shot in the back of the head for it.
I think. Okay,
Golly.
so that's two separate things.
I just have to go back to the thing. I have to go back to the thing. My God in heaven.
Yes.
Could you imagine starting a meeting on time when one of the attendees, your friend, is dead?
A speaker at that. He
Your
was going there to
friend.
report. Yeah.
Your
No, that's crazy.
friend, your colleague, they're going to shoot you next, but we're going to make this meeting happen on time. What could be so important?
They've doubled security on all of the CEOs from all of the healthcare. They've tripled security. They're not leaving home. They are having food testers come in. They are all vulnerable, even though they believe they
Food
have caught this
testers.
guy.
Fucker.
I'll test your food. That's fine. Can Amy cook it?
Brian?
So you and I discuss TikTok. I would say 50% of the time our topics come from, and then we just springboard.
And you're welcome, dear
And
listener.
you are welcome. Having said that, there is a ban that was just approved
Oh,
for
for
TikTok
fuck's
as of the
sake.
19th of January. And somebody on TikTok gave us the hack of changing your store to Canada and going in through the Canadian Apple Store or whatever store you have from which you buy your apps and getting Canadian TikTok downloaded to your phone, and you can still have your endorphin rush for each, what did I used to do? Traveling, like police officers pull you over, sovereign citizens, all that bullshit that makes me so angry. I will still have access. But how do you feel about the TikTok ban?
The entire thing frustrates me. It is not likely to happen. It is nonsensical. It is completely a power grab and a money grab. It is so far down on the list a security concern. It is a legitimate security concern, as all social media is. It's just one that they can't control the money. You'll notice that they're not banning TikTok. They're banning foreign ownership. They're demanding that it gets sold to an American company.
And if it's not, they're banning the
Right,
app.
right. So
by the 19th.
so just
right.
listen to what that is.
Right.
So it's not that these identified security problems and the platform itself that we're saying here's all the problems with the platform. We're just saying if somebody else is pulling the strings, if we're the puppet master, then that's okay, as opposed to saying puppet mastering equals bad. Because they've been puppet mastering all the other fucking shit. It's just stupid.
Forever.
It makes me angry. It makes me angry. None of it's great. I don't feel like I am, protected and secure. I'm not defending it in that way at all. But I think the solution does nothing to solve the problem as identified. The solution simply enriches Americans. A very small subset, I might add. Steve Mnuchin is in line to buy this. We already know the name of the person. How ridiculous is this?
Pretty ridiculous. I've gotten to see several small businesses say, our entire business is on here. Please, we have a website. Please, here's the website. Like, this is their last ditch effort to get you to go anywhere else. But they feed their kids from the hats and scarves that they sell on this site. And it's really
people whose lives have been literally transformed for this thing are now going to have to pivot again. So they pivoted in this great direction, and now we have to pivot back to other platforms where, gee, why didn't it work for you before on those other platforms? Gee, I wonder. So it's just silliness. But like everything else, nothing gold can stay. So
Robert Frost?
Everybody's going to have to.
Did you just Robert Frost me?
I did TikTok.
Oh.
I did. And it's Chinese gold, too. So watch it. You got to rub it.
Nothing gold can stay.
Sure. That's it.
And in Australia, my son's favorite location, they have banned social media for under 16-year-olds.
Oh, my God. They're going to be so healthy. God bless
They already are so healthy. He came over here. He's a public health major, which just makes it annoying that he knows that we suck and this is the world we're leaving him. It's fine when they're like, processed food's delish. But when they get smart and they go away and educate
it's like that fucking
themselves.
bitch in Altoona. We can't have a nice assassin. He was entertaining.
He's doing the Lord's
I'm kidding.
work.
No one
He's
should be dead.
We do not mean that. That's
no
awful.
one should be dead. It's awful.
Toy.
It's really bad.
Step outside, spit, and turn in circles. I don't know.
I'm just saying, he did have a cartoon villain name. I'm just saying.
Luigi,
shoot him up around or whatever his fucking name is. Stop it.
And everyone's like, oh, he's so handsome. They'll never find him guilty. And he can't be retried. And he can't be. Come on. How many people do you know that, I don't want to use this phrase, but get off because they're handsome? But come on. Have you ever seen.
That's a larger number than you think. I think the answer is in the question.
Have you ever seen a sex addict? This is something else that came
to me
today. Who was wildly unattractive?
Well, how am I supposed to answer these whack-a-mole questions? Okay. Have you ever seen a sex addict? Can we do period? Or even a comma?
But
semicolon?
Look at
no.
I'm not saying
how am I supposed to
person.
identify somebody like this? And then I'm going to talk about you, though. I'm going to talk about you. I'm talking about you,
I'm talking
porno.
about in person, on TV. Like, so-and-so went to rehab for a sex addiction. It's never a disgusting human.
Who watches content with that sentence in it? I have never seen a show about a sex addict that wasn't fictional. Ever.
I mean, didn't Rob Lowe say that he had a...
Oh, we're back to him again?
I love him so much.
My Lord, the Botox in that man's face.
I don't care. I'll suck it in. I love that man so much. He's getting younger. I know, with no evidence whatsoever. He made a pact with Satan and he is aging in reverse.
My favorite part about Rob Lowe is how
everything.
Enamored with himself he is.
He is.
Because his son is constantly saying shit like when he posts his pictures of himself.
Yes.
First of all, who posts pictures of yourself?
He
does.
Then
then the son's like, I literally just watched you strap that knife to your leg for the purpose of this picture.
Yes. I love that his son's, John Owen, calls him on it every single fucking time. Yeah,
so
I know his kids' names. Wait, it gets even better. He was doing an interview. They have a show they do together. It got a second season. It was cute, but it was bad. It's not a good show. So they do this show together, and his son says to him right in the middle of an interview, yeah, I remember one time you were getting, I think I even told you about this, you were getting interviewed and you wanted me to come downstairs to make you look better because I was like 9 and scrawny, and you asked me to carry a surfboard and because you had just taken the top of your what do you surf in, a wetsuit? You just pulled the top of your wetsuit down. You would look better standing next to me. And I thought, that is gross. But he goes, yeah, I'm sure that's something I would have done. He admits it. When people have an ick factor that makes you like, ugh, why do you have to be so douchey? And they're like, no, I'm not douchey. I don't drink this or do that. He admits it. He's Popeye. I am what I am.
You drank the douche Kool-Aid.
I did.
Can't. It's not right.
I drank the douche-aid. Ew, that would be awful.
That's how bad it is. You should feel bad for what you're doing.
I just
like
him.
I do when you mention television, because I have stumbled into a CBS hole, and I'm here to tell you,
CBS has been really putting out the good stuff lately.
I love CBS.
Tell us about your
love
hole.
it. I love that CBS. I love them, and another one I love is that stupid Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's another good one.
I think probably because it's my CBS pipeline.
They're the same thing, but did you start Elsbeth?
I am done with it. I watched every fucking Elspeth.
It wasn't
quirky,
creepy like
weird
you said.
Bitch
It was
is
cute.
so great. I love it. And my favorite part about the whole show, it's like, let's cosplay at solving murders. So every one of the murders is like cute. You know what I learned halfway through the series, and it took me that long because I don't really watch it. It's perfect because unlike Black Dove, unlike Slow Horses, you can watch that show while you're doing anything.
Out of nowhere.
Conducting surgery, while you're driving a car. You can watch the show and follow it because it's like, I don't really need, so little of your brain is engaged. But here's the thing. Okay. Elspeth is like a middle school production of a murder mystery. They die, but nobody really dies.
Because
the people
Clue.
who die,
Yeah,
the murderers are like, I committed murder. Yeah. Like and when they get
I
caught.
think I did. Yeah.
When they get caught and they're going to the jail, they're like, darn it, Elspeth. I guess it's like Scooby-Doo.
It is the Scooby-Doo of yes.
It is super Scooby-Doopy because it's also a little bit like that show Clue, right? Because she's all bouncing around. My favorite part is the NYPD office. That's the New York Police Department, for those of you who don't live on the planet. Okay, they have decorated the inside of NYPD with like gold lettering, and the jails are all painted this beautiful, like almost peacock gray. Like it's this beautiful, and everything is pristinely clean. Like there's no attempt at this for any way. They interrogate subjects at a wooden table in like a library, as opposed to like a cinder block where a rat is literally on the table as you're talking.
And you are handcuffed to the bar on the metal table.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Yeah.
And all of her investigative work involves like participating in glitterati of New York. Like she has to go to the opera. She has to become a runway model. She's the muse to
fluffy.
solve this
You
murder
said
mystery.
It's
right?
the Scoober Dooby of all. It's delightful.
Yes, I have to literally buy millions of dollars of New York real estate in order to solve this real estate related death. Come on now. But also, I'm here for it. I love it.
So is it a closer in High Potential, the other show that I now love?
Oh, I haven't watched that yet, and I love everything about it because I'm supposed to watch it, and I forgot where it is. Where is it?
That's your homework assignment. You should try Hulu at this point.
Oh, I forgot about them. I feel like I still pay for them. I get so mad when I pay for stuff, and then I forget that I have it.
Prime
I'm
Video
like, I don't
is
want
like
to do
that.
that.
For me. Prime Videos like that for me. I'm like, oh, where is that? I have not opened that app in a very long time. Let me download that for my
They're
flight
such
to
jerks.
Florida.
They're United Healthcaring us because it started out in the beginning. All of this stuff was for free. You would have a little antenna on the top of your television or the top of your house if you fancy.
See Peacock. Yeah.
Then it went to something called cable, and our world exploded. Then cable became pay-per-view, which became satellite, which became now we're not making enough money on the satellite because everybody is able to figure out that. So let's break it off into tiny little subscriptions. Where next they're going to start charging us per episode. Next is going to be by actor, right? Anytime you want to see this actor, it's going to cost you 62 cents. Let's go. It's ridiculous.
Good Lord. So if you have, dear listener, while you're writing in to cheer me up, any show that you want us to see and opine about, I just ended a sentence so poorly. I'm so sorry.
You're going to make it. It's going to be just fine.
I'll be all right. Let us know because we are looking for interesting, funny. Amy does not like too much violence, but the only thing I ever watched that was too violent for me was like Denzel's Man on Fire.
Oh
Did you
my
ever see
God.
that movie?
Yes.
That was
My mother made me watch it with her.
brutal.
It was awful.
Oh, I liked the movie.
I
but
started to
it
have
was-
heart palpitations in the middle. I think I had to leave during it because I couldn't take it.
I think I remember at one point Denzel Washington putting like a bottle rocket in somebody's ass crack and then walking away, and behind
Jesus.
him blowing up. I was like,
I think there was a lot of like, hold on to the steering wheel where I snap your fingers one at a time. Like it was that kind of
bleh.
business. I don't need that.
I heard the funniest story while talking to my brother today about our father who art in hospital.
Our father, who art fell down.
Who art in hospital. I had he was telling me, he
Hallowed
said,
be thy hip.
"Ugh, please, please, please. He
Hallowed
said
be thy hip.
he's
All
not a bird. So he
Maybe.
had his family home for Thanksgiving, and his daughter was home with her girlfriend, and her girlfriend has a quirk. And I honestly, when our kids have quirks, we're like, yo, clean that shit up when you're in public, right? Shove it down, go to therapy, deal with it there. Her quirk is you can't burp near her.
Well, that's a
Because
good quirk. That's
a
just
burp-
healthy.
She takes it further, makes her throw up.
Oh,
Somebody else
get
burping.
over it.
Correct. You need to push that shit down and then leave the house and deal with your feelings with your therapist and get over it. But they now use her name as like the excuse me instead
That
of
is
saying
like the
excuse me.
weirdest flex ever. That's like, if someone hiccups, I will shit my pants. Okay? It's like, how is what I'm doing affecting what you're doing, where you lose control in a way that's gross for both of us? Like,
Well, I
how does
asked that. I
how does that-
followed through. I'm glad you're pulling at that string, Amy. I said, "What do you mean?" Because that's ridiculous. Is it like when we were kids and you would hold me down and burp and then blow it in my face? Is that what we're
that's
talking
really
about?
gross, but I don't think that's it.
And he said, "No, Melissa. It was across the room. It was a oh, bleh, bleh." Like, you know what?
No.
I think we should reevaluate this relationship. I mean,
And this
she
is
might be
coming. This is coming from someone who literally forgot how to sneeze, and I'm dealing with the fallout from that. It's a real problem.
We have discussed this on pod before, but you have brought it up again. The door is open.
I have to put a lot of energy into getting my shit together when it comes to a sneeze, because
So that
at
what?
some point I overthought sneezing quietly and privately, to the point where I lost the ability to sneeze normally because it was always tamping it down. And I thought, I'm just hurting myself because I need to. It's physical.
Let it go.
It does physical damage to hold it in like that. Like, it's really bad for the body. Okay, so I thought, this is silly. I have to just sneeze in a dainty way. Well, Dainty and me, we don't really hang out.
Dainty and sneezing aren't
we don't
really a
really
thing
hang
either.
out. So then now
We've
I got
met.
I got to the point where the sneeze is coming. I've been alerted. It's been
Okay.
identified somewhere in the system. It's on the way out. And my brain goes into overdrive, like, gotta fix it, gotta stop it. Don't stop it too hard. Let it go. Keep it coming. But also, don't act like an idiot. And now, at this point, sneeze is halfway out the face. So I end up amplifying the sneeze like I'm a horse. And spittle flies out of my face, and I make noises. It's disgusting. It embarrasses me. I've tried to stop it. And so the best that I can do now is I keep... also, I learned that I throw up in cars a lot, so I always keep a bag with me now. That's new, and I carry. Stop! Don't hide your face. I'm learning. I'm
Today's
learning.
episode is brought to you by a complete and total barfarama.
By Schmegma and phlegm.
Uh,
So
Schmegma.
now I carry around a tissue. I also notice my nose run a lot, so I carry around a tissue, right? That I have one with me, and when I feel it coming, I figured out the best thing that I could do is just clamp that shit over my face. So no matter what happens, at least it's contained.
It's covered. Okay.
Right? And now I'm back to, I think I can do it kind of normally. But just ask Marnie. I was around her. I was in the car around her the other day. I don't know when the hell. Maybe it was like last year. But it happened, and she looked at me and she was like, "What and who? Why?" Like, all of it was just present on her face. And I said, I know I'm really embarrassed, and I'm sorry. But it's like somebody's going to burp around me. Now I shit my pants.
Do you have to explain to her I'm working on it? Because I would love it if this young girl, let's call her Jane, and now every time they burp in that whole household, they're like, "Ugh, Jane." Like, it's now It's now the actual word.
I don't want to be I don't want to be. What was I called? Biohazard Amy. I don't want to be that person.
That's
Right? Because I'm
awful.
constantly losing my bowels and throwing up on people. Like, just all of
Pissing
that,
across the room. Keep
things
going. I
that
could
are
do this all
automatic
day.
processes. At some point along the line in the past 5 years, my brain got involved. Like blinking, breathing, shit you doing that you're not paying attention to.
Involuntary, yes.
Somehow my brain intercepted and said, I think I can improve this process.
I got
and
this
I
one.
fucked myself up. So
Yeah.
now I'm trying to like back out of all that stuff and go back to autopilot when it's necessary. I don't know what to say to you. I don't throw
No,
up.
I
but
don't know what to say to you.
Look,
but
I am moving forward in my life in a positive direction, and
I
you
love
should be
it.
grateful to be around me. Number
I am
one.
grateful that you are making these changes,
See,
starting with
stop
the
it.
shoe. I did the shoe cubbies this past week as well.
Very good.
It wasn't a religious experience for me, but my husband's rewarding me with that's excellent. This looks great.
See,
So
gold
I'll
star.
take that.
Atta
I'll take
girl.
that too.
Atta
But
girl.
It's not as profound as the difference in your home, but knowing not only I'm going to go through all the pockets in my coats now too,
For
just
real.
to find just to get rich.
I'm gonna come to your house and go through the pockets. I need $20. Let's hit it.
Don't you do that though? Don't you find money where you didn't realize?
I don't
folded
usually.
bill?
I find money from time to time. I usually have little bits of money everywhere. It's kind of ridiculous, but they're little bits of money. I actively stash things in coat pockets by
You're
way
like a
of
squirrel.
no. I like a plane ticket. I will actively leave it in my pocket and not throw it out when it's time to empty out the pockets, because I want the next time I wear that coat to find that ticket and be reminded of when I went there, or the ticket to the show, or the whatever the thing, the receipt for the museum that we
That's
got to go in.
lovely.
I absolutely leave all that shit in my pockets and in purses and things on purpose. Always.
That's lovely. I like that. I am leaving surprises for myself. They say that squirrels are so fucking stupid that they bury their nuts to go back to, but they forget where they bury them, and that's how trees come out.
I don't think I like this comparison. Number one, feels a little bit.
No, but you find
feels a little
yours.
bit
You find
targeted.
yours.
Feels a little bit targeted. Lorenzo Shimishota. Okay, what's his fucking name? Luigi Kapow Pow. What's his name?
Luigi.
Luigi Messamashoya. Yeah.
No, it was Mangione, or it was
Come
I'm
on.
like, Chuck
That can't-
Mangione
that
did
can't
what?
Be right.
They're like,
that
he
can't
did.
be.
What are you doing?
Don't bring shame upon that family.
Chuck
don't
into
do that.
this.
Come on.
The House of Chuck.
That's the
Okay.
one.
I apologize. It is not my fault. I love it.
I started out, it's going out the wrong side of my mouth. I got to do it at the other side. But now that I've started, my lips are vibrating. Shut up. They are, though. Blah, blah.
Oh, Jane. Oh, Jane. I'm going to invite her to every meal, and I'm going to teach myself how to burp better just to watch her throw up. But it's how my husband taught me to drive stick. He's like, here are the keys. In Connecticut. I'll meet you in Pennsylvania. I was like, what? So that's how you learn, by everybody burping near you and you not vomiting. Grow
this
the
is,
fuck
This is
up.
you're going to throw her
Love
in the
you.
lake and you get to learn to swim or drown?
One or the other.
Wow.
Maybe. I think it's
The other
one
way
is
you could go
life-threatening,
is
the other is
just unfriend her. Just walk in the opposite direction. I actually saw a TikTok prior to coming on this very show, and it was interesting to me in its hurtful accuracy. And it goes a little something like this: the greatest delusion is believing that a paragraph can change the way a person treats you. How many times have you written a paragraph, a text, a this, a message, a missive? No fucking paragraph that you write is going to change somebody's behavior. If they're treating you the wrong way, they're not. So you're just deluding yourself. So at a certain point, we don't need to be friends with Jane. We need to just kick her out of the friend circle and let her vomit in peace. Goodbye. I don't need you around me.
What if this was the beautiful young woman who came into your home and
don't you
set up
blaspheme
your
air that
nutcrackers?
way. Don't you blaspheme my air that
That's what
way.
I'm talking about.
No, but that's where, come on now. You got to think about it logically. Would you ever become entangled with someone who, upon first burp, vomits a little bit?
Dear listener, what makes you vomit? No, we love you. We are thrilled that you are back out and listening. I am taking off for Florida. I will be back. Don't you worry. Check your pockets.
Maybe worry a little bit and then go to the keyboard and send something nice. Would it kill you?
brilliantobservations@gmail.com, Facebook, Brilliant Observations or Brillab Squad. If you want to send us a picture of joy, you could even do it at Listen Brilliant on Instagram. I'm not against it. I would embrace it. We love
And don't
you
go
guys.
shooting any CEOs. And frankly, delay the meeting, number one. Can we not learn that?
Let's use the word postpone. How about not just delay?
Right.
Let's
Right.
really call it a day.
If there's a coroner involved, do we really need the minutes to start on time? You know.
Jeez, that was crazy. We love you.
And we do.
Bye. Tell us about your hole.
Upon first burp,